Rockstar Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate everyone being here. We've got a lot. We got some stuff to talk about today. Carolina making some moves, man. Released Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, it was kind of a move saw coming from a mile away. I mean, I don't know how y'all feel about it. Like, I could see it coming from a mile away, but after the move, but I also could have seen the other side of it. So we'll dive more into that as well. We're gonna talk about Jonathan Brooks. Will we see him in a Panthers jersey again? That's the question. Like, legitimately playing, because I think that's a conversation we need to have. Um, we have also signed all of our rookies. Besides two so far, I've heard that Trevor Etienne and Nick Scorton are the remain unsigned as of right now. And then of course we've got some big updates coming as well, big dates coming through. So we need to go through those. And just want to come on here and let's break it all down, man. Let's break it all down. So before we get into today's live stream, do me a favor, make sure to pound that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. Of course, feeling generous, donate to the channel, Venmo or Cash App, either one goes a long way. Join the channel. This is the best way. This link right here in the chat. That's the best way you become a member. Okay, super easy, very, very simple and easy, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it. Lomax, what's good? How are you? How are you? Panthers gal, thank you for joining. Trap, what's good, my friend? Maybe they did. Maybe they saw Trap's tweet and was like, man, he's right. Man, he's right. I don't know. We'll dive more here into it in a second. But again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let's get those likes up, man. Live goal, gonna start that up here right now. Super chats, 15 super chats are as the live goal tonight. It's gonna go towards a major giveaway. We're gonna do our jersey. It's gonna go to a jersey giveaway. So anybody that donates tonight, anybody becomes a member, we're gonna do some jersey giveaways coming up. I want to give at least maybe 2 to 3 giveaways this off season before the season starts. Maybe even more than that. If we start reaching these, if we start getting these Venmos and Cash Apps, or the members keep coming through, or the subscribers keep coming up, and the live gold chat keeps coming through, we will do more giveaways. So all right, let's get right into it, man. Y'all didn't come here to hear me yap. Hurricane's trying to go up 2-0. I know. I've got it over here. I'm watching it. I've got it over here on the other side. I'm trying to hold my composure a bit here. Hold my composure a bit. Okay. So let's just dive into this whole bad boy right here. Let's dive into this thing as a whole right here. Let's talk about Jadeveon Clowney, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it, because actually I might share this in a different view. What's going on, Earl? Oh. Let me do it like this. That's better. What is going on, Earl? Appreciate you, man. All right, so let's get right in this. Sorry about that. So here's the thing. Let's be honest. Let's just get through this real quick with the whole Jadeveon Clowney thing, because here's the thing. Dan Morgan is showing the NFL that the NFL world, I think, with this move, to me, is that they're done playing it safe. And I think it's bold. I think, frankly, it's ruthless. I think this is a roster decision that needed to be, part of me needed to say, I'm 50-50 on this, because I see both sides of it, right? Because I added context into in everything I talk about in here. Context matters in everything we talk about on here, whether you're a news reporter, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you're I don't care who you are. You follow a team, you report about it, however way you do it, you need to add context to everything. And I truly believe in that. And in this situation, we really need to add context to both sides of it because you let go. I felt like, Dan Morgan, that you let go the most productive guy you had on your defense last year. To be completely honest with you, besides JC Horn, besides A'Shawn Robinson, I got to give A'Shawn Robinson some credit there. But Jadeveon Clowney had 5.5 sacks and 46 tackles last year. 5.5 sacks, 46 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 11 quarterback hits in the 14 games he played. And you released him after one season. Now, it's a clear signal to me that this front office, and I'm just being honest here, that they are swinging for defenses. They are going for the home run. They are going for the grand slam. They're going with the youth first mentality. So if that means you ditch this guy who actually produced when the rest of this defense was falling apart like a house of cards in a hurricane, and I get it. Jadeveon Clowney's 32 years old. Okay. Wasn't just some aging name claiming irrelevancy again. And he came back here motivated to play closer to home in Rock Hill. I think one thing I did, and this is the side of it that I get to keep him here, is because he brought leadership. He brought professionalism, a veteran presence to a team that desperately needed it, and he was still out. Now, okay, if we want to talk numbers, we can talk numbers. We can talk numbers. Let's go look at his contract. Over the cap salary. Let's go look at it. So here it is. So there is right here. Jadeveon Clowney contract. Here it is right here. You cut pre-June. And that's what they did. In that transaction, they cut him pre-June. Maybe it wasn't the over the cap. What's the other one? But either way, if we're talking about contracts, actually, let's go with the calculator. This is how we do it right here. So here you go with Jadeveon Clowney. You submit that pre-cut. Guess what happens? Here's dead money's up top. Dead cap's at the bottom. Or so the dead cap's up top. The cap savings is at the bottom. Okay. So here's the thing. Clowney was set to earn, if we turn this off, he was set to earn $8,525,000 with a $2 million guaranteed salary. Okay, $2 million guaranteed salary right there. What they tried to move him during the draft, found no trade partners, so instead they cut him. So which they did, and again, that's how you get the $6 million in dead cap, which then ended up freeing the $7.77 million in cap space. And some people are asking, like, I think a lot of people are asking, like, why? Like, and it's very simple. It's because they didn't just draft a pass rusher; they drafted two, and they did it aggressively. You know, in round 2, they selected Nick Scorton, who has a first round grade, who's a ferocious edge rusher, especially when he's at 255, 265 range at Texas A&M. Wasn't the best production you saw him out of Texas A&M. You saw better production out of Nick Scorton at Purdue, especially when he was at that 255, 260 frame. But he led but He led the SEC in pressures last year, and he's an explosive 3-down player with huge upside. Okay, I'm all for it. All right. Still love this draft. This is one of the best drafts I felt like I've seen in a very long time. All right. At least, especially for the Carolina Panthers. Then in round 3, you go out, you double down on Princely, who's a twitchy, high motor guy out of Ole Miss, 10.5 sacks, strong bend, natural pass rusher instincts, who I actually had higher on my rankings from the edge rushing standpoint, pass rushing standpoint. I actually had him, I think, a spot or 2 higher than Nick Scorton, but that was just me. So to me, it's no coincidence, guys, that it's a regime defining choice. That's what it is. That is what it is. Forest City Kitty, what's up? I love that Jeff Gordon. I love that Jeff Gordon thing you got going on in there. What's up, SC Panthers Boy 803? What's up, man? Appreciate you joining. Josh P, what's good, man? Appreciate you joining. Clay, I heard that he wanted more money. I don't know if that's true. But I mean, here's the thing. Even if he did, like Dan Morgan, who is now really in his first full year as a general manager, because he made it clear with these picks, the future is coming fast. It doesn't have time to wait for veteran age gracefully. I get that. You know, even Dan Morgan came out and said, well, we're still working through the roster. And I don't think this is going to be the last veteran we cut. I hope we cut. I hope that here's 2 things that I hope Dan Morgan does. I hope that they can rework Taylor Moton's contract. Here's what I want them to do. I want them to either extend Taylor Moton, because you end up saving $12 million, or you need to restructure his contract and you still save $12 million. Okay. All right. All right. Either way. Okay. So that's number 1 for me. Number 2, if we're looking at some other contracts here, or not necessarily contracts, but more like guys, I'm ready to cut. The problem is with Shy Tuttle, man, his contract is so bad, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. If you look at Shy Tuttle's contract, you cut him, guess what? You only save $825,000. You cut him now, guess what? You dead cap $6.5 million. That's how bad his contract is, man. That's how bad. That's why Shy Tuttle's still on this team. But really, after that, there's really nobody that we're gonna like cut. The only person I may see that they're gonna cut now, depending on how that wide receiver room, is David Moore. I don't think David Moore makes the roster. You know what I mean? So, but again, you save 7.7 million. Okay. All right. And you now you can go and possibly, I do think that there is some big moves coming on towards the horizon. Now that this move is happening. Maybe this is where Julian Blackmon comes in. Maybe now with that 7.7 million that they have now, which I think our cap is at. Now, after that changes, let's see. So I'm going to have to do it now. So, because they didn't do it. So we went ahead and we cut him. So now we have $10 million in dead cap. I'm trying to see where where's the numbers at for how much money we have left? It's too far. Okay. So right now we're at 16 million.25. At least that's what it's saying right there. Now we're at $24 million in cap space. I'm just going to share this again. So see what happens when we did it. We were at 16.2. You cut him. Now you're at $24 million in cap space in 2025 still. Okay. 16 before we cut him, 16.2. Now that we've cut him, we're at 24. So I just wanted to share with that real quick with you guys. So in the end, man, like the youth movement versus the versus reality, this move is a gamble. Like I don't agree with the fact that people think that this guy at 32 is washed. When you go look at his stats last year, in 14 games, guys, 14 games he played. You're telling me a guy at 32 years old? You're telling me a guy at 32 years old, having 5.5 sacks, 46 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 11 quarterback hits, and 4 pass breakups is washed? That doesn't sound like a guy who's 32-year-old and washed. I'm sorry. Here's the thing that I see both sides of it, right? Clowney, again, I do believe that Clowney wasn't just productive. I think he was go look at everybody's stats last year and tell me who the most consistent defensive lineman was for the Carolina Panthers last season. It was him. He showed up every Sunday while the rest of this defense got gashed by backup quarterbacks, shredded on third down. He was the bright spot in a year that can only be described as a flaming disaster. Yet they are going, so the Panthers are now opting to run into 2025 with this rotation. You got DJ Wanu again, who didn't play until week 10 of the season, who was coming off a torn quad with blood clots, but came back, had a hell of a game, or had a hell of a finish to the season. Patrick Jones the second. Here's the thing. I understand that. He's a veteran, but he has, I'll say this, Patrick Jones the second has more potential than production, though. Squirton, Princely, 2 rookies who haven't played a single NFL down. I'm sorry. And then after that, you got Amari Barno and Iku Leota. And there's another developmental name you need to Google to identify. Oh, and Ashawn Robinson, another guy who's 29 years old, a defensive tackle he's turning 31. Sorry, he's not 29. He's turning 31 and is technically now returning sack leader with also 5.5 sacks. So that's not young. That's raw as hell, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if these kids don't develop fast, Carolina's already thin defense could collapse entirely off the edge. There's no safety net now. And Clowney was it. Clowney was that safety net, ladies and gentlemen. And I feel like he could be a guy still that we could have used to help and develop Princely and Scorton. That's just my opinion. I think that you could have done that. So you think, I mean, Brown is going to be a mentor in a leadership aspect. But the Scorton and Princely, I don't know if he's a guy that's going to teach them and who's going to give them experience. Sure, Derek Brown, but he's not going to be that mentor in the style of play and how he should do these moves and not. I see again. I disagree with you, Phaeton. How can you say a guy that had 46 tackles, 5.5 sacks? Again, go look at the numbers, and you're telling me that this guy was washed. I just don't get it. In 14 games, this guy at 31 years old, who's now 32, or he was 32 then, I don't fucking know. But 5.5 sacks, 46 tackles, 9 tackles for a loss, 11 quarterback hits, and broke up 4 passes. And you're telling me he's washed? And okay, so then we're going to go. Pat Jones is a 26, 27 years old guy who was a rotational player at best. And you're talking about him being a mentor? Patrick Jones, the second, was a rotational player who has more potential than production. He's not going to be a mentor to these young guys. A'Shawn Robinson, sure. Derek Brown, sure. But again, none of these guys are going to teach swim moves. They're not going to teach underhooks. They're not going to be able to teach him that. We had a guy here that could have taught him that. Could have taught Nick Scorton and Princely that. But he's playing on the New York Giants now because we had a GM that fucked up his contract. I'm just saying at the same time, I think Clowney would have been a great mentor for these guys. I get the cap savings, I get all that, but again, you're literally gambling on these kids to develop fast. To literally, you're hoping that Nick Scorton and Princely hit the ground running when this defense is already thin. There's no safety net. Again, Clowney was that. But y'all are going based off the numbers saying 5.5 sacks is not good enough. Okay. Well, what about DJ Wanu? He only had 4. Is A'Shawn Robinson's 5.5 sacks not good enough either? If you're gonna say that Clowney's 5.5 sacks wasn't good enough, and all of his other stats that I put out there aren't good enough, then neither is A'Shawn Robinson. Neither is DJ Wanu. Make it make sense. Here's the thing. Cap savings, great. You cut Clowney, frees up cash. Morgan clearly intends to spend it. There are gaping holes elsewhere on this defense. You still got the cornerback room. I think it's a major concern. I still think the quarterback room is a major concern. JC Horn stayed for healthy through 1 season. I need to see that with his contract extension, I need him to stay healthy for at least another season, probably 2. Mike Jackson, he's a CB2 by default. I mean, he's got some potential. I mean, I don't know. Mike Jackson to me, man, he's serviceable at best. Linebacker still thin behind Shaq Thompson. There's no there because not behind Shaq Thompson. It's still thin without Shaq Thompson. I mean, now that Shaq Thompson's out, you're telling me I'm gonna have to rely on Trevor Wallace, Roseboom, Josie Jewell. And you got Josie Jewell going, who's 30 now. Now the safety room, I like Lathan Ransom. I like Tre'von Moehrig. I like Damani Richardson, but I can tell you one guy I do not like, and that's Nick Scott. I don't know why we brought him back. But here's the thing: the 7.7 million gain by moving Clowney. Again, I get it. It gives Carolina. It gives Carolina that flexibility to chase another veteran or two. Here's the thing I'm getting at those guys is that that may be critical. That may be critical if they want to avoid fielding a bottom 5 defense again, but no signing is going to match that instant impact. Locker room presence, Clowney offered, especially now it has a bargain price. Again, I get it. It's going to be a pattern, hard cuts. This isn't just about Clowney. This has become a pattern. Now, since taking over, I'll say this: Dan Morgan has made it clear that he's cutting ties with past and fast tracking this rebuild. He traded away Brian Burns. Brian Burns, that's not on Dan Morgan. That was on Scott Fitter. We all know that. Dan had to do what he had to do at the end of the day. There was nothing else. I hate that people say that we watch Frankie Louvu talk, but they don't know the fucking facts. You guys that say that out there that we let Frankie Louvu walk, you don't know the fucking facts. You obviously can't fucking read out there either, because we didn't let Frankie Louvu walk. Let me make that perfectly clear to all you idiots out there that just think that we let him walk. You dumbasses, we offered him $39 million to stay here. $3 million more than what the Commanders gave him. He chose to go play for Dan Quinn because he knew he would be used correctly. Okay, well, either way, $45 million for Louvu, not 39. Either way. So people need to stop acting like we let him walk away. I'm still tired of hearing that. You dump Von Bell. I didn't like the Von Bell dump. I thought Von Bell was a great leader in that secondary. I thought he was also a very vocal, communicative leader. I really liked a lot. I wish we would have. Again, it comes down to using your guys correctly, but again, it comes down to Gio Evero this year to really figure out this defense now. So then you let go of Jadeveon Clowney, all in the span of months. Every veteran move has screamed reboot. This one's no different. Clowney's departure strips the defense of one of its few veterans who had seen real playoff football, who had set a tone on the field, who wasn't just cashing checks, letting him walk without a viable replacement on the field, just rookies and hope. It's aggressive. Now, I think what's next for Clowney is this. Clowney wasn't washed, far from it, in my opinion. He was a legit contributor on a garbage ass team. And it hasn't proven to still win one-on-one rep. And still, he was proving that he could win one-on-one reps, set off the edge, disrupt the pocket. He fits any 4-3 scheme as a strong end, could be a rotational guy on a 3-4 front piece. I think he's going to go somewhere like this. I think he either goes to playoff contenders like the Lions. I could see him going back to the Ravens, maybe the Eagles, even the Jets could come calling. I even think the Buffalo Bills could use him. He might not be a Pro Bowler anymore, but he's damn sure can still get it done. Right? He played 14 games, Vietnam. Double check your stats. He didn't play 17. He played 14. He'll sign somewhere soon, probably with a better shot at the postseason than what we can offer, right? So here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, you're going to be betting on high ceiling rookies. And you're betting that they can replace a proven veteran leader. And they're betting it hard. I think it's a bold move. I really do. It might even be a smart in the long run. Again, let's see how it plays out. But if Squirton, Princely, they don't hit the ground running, and if Wanu gets re-injured, and if this defense is giving up 30 points a game in September, I guarantee you'll be like, man, we should have kept Clowney. And then we'll look like a bunch of clowns. I just think that Clowney deserved better, not because he's a charity case, but because he earned it. Like, he gave Carolina professionalism, production, a presence in return, and he got the boot. So a couple of untested rookies get a head start. And that's the business. I get it. But damn, it's a cold one. It's a cold business. Again, to me, you still have to respect the brass balls it takes to make a move like this. Like Morgan, Canales aren't tiptoeing around this rebuild. And I'm here for it for sure. I just didn't like this move, me personally. I get both sides of it, though. That's why I'm 50-50 on it. Again, if this works out, they'll look like geniuses. If it doesn't, then you guys in this chat right now are going to be like, Clay, you were right. And that you guys are going to be very loud saying we should have never let him go. And then your guys are going to be a very pissed off fan base on their hands by midseason, because you're going to be like, well, why did we let this guy go? You let the safety net go. Either way, I'm here for it. Listen, I want the youth movement to work out. I'd rather have Princely and Nick Squirton hit the ground running for sure. But it's no guarantee. There is no guarantee in that. That's just me personally. Again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you love the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. Vietnam is on one in the chat right now. I see you, Vietnam. I see you, my guy. Let's talk about this. I don't know if we've really dived deep into this as much as I might dive deep into this now. You're 50-50, so you're both right and wrong either way. Yep. That's how I do it, Trap. I'm playing chess, not checkers. So it balances itself out. You know what I mean? It balances itself out. I don't disagree with that, Jeff. I don't disagree with letting those guys get the reps. But here's the thing. Are we going to – we didn't even see Bryce Young gets reps last year in preseason. Are we going to finally see these guys actually get some reps in preseason? I want everybody getting reps in preseason. I'm sorry. This team needs it. This team needs it. This team needs it. Not just the rookies. This team needs it. Everybody should be at every damn camp. I don't care if it's rookie mini camp. I don't care if it's OTAs. I don't give a flying flip. Every one of these players on this team needs to be at every practice, camp, anything they can get their hands into this offseason. Because we need it bad. Better question is what we're going to do with that extra cap space. I'm hoping it's either getting a safety or a corner. I'm hoping it's Julian Blackman. And when I say they need to play preseason games, I'm not expecting them to go out there and play for 4 quarters. But at least give me the starters in a quarter. Then you can move on. Give me a full quarter or quarter and a half. I don't know. Both sides of the ball. When are we going to do our first mock 53-man roster? We'll probably do an early projected roster. Here soon. Do list for sure. Definitely haven't done one. Yet, obviously, but definitely it's on my to-do list. Trap. All right, let's dive into this, Jonathan Brooks. I'm interested in what you guys are going to say through the chat. So sound off the comments as we go through this real quick. I'm going to say this. I think that even though we all knew this was coming, Jonathan Brooks, this is an NFL nightmare, in my opinion. Like you, and this was a huge gamble by Dan Morgan taking him in the second round, trading up for him. And I feel like part of this whole ordeal, this gamble for Jonathan Brooks, has kind of gone up in some smoke, at least for now, because I think in the move that was equal parts expected and gut-wrenching, you're placing this second-year running back on the PUP list, which completely ends his 2025 season before it even begins, right? So to put it bluntly, I'm going to say this. The kid can't catch a damn break, and I feel for him, all right? I'm a Brooks fan, right? I thought this guy was that hope for this Panthers offense. But now he's finding himself staring down this barrel of another lost year. In my opinion, another grueling rehab, a future that's gone from bright to bleak in the span of 3 games, 2 catastrophic knee injuries now. I mean, this is a harsh reality that we're in of the NFL. It's a business, and it chews you up and it spits you out. And right now, Brooks is on the wrong end of that meat grinder. I'm sorry. You're on the wrong end. Now let's rewind back. Let's rewind the time back. Let's get it and hop in our time machine to last off season. This was a risk from the start. You drafted him at the 46th overall pick in 2024. Brooks was already carrying a red flag. A torn ACL suffered in November 2023 at Texas, right? We knew it. Dan Morgan knew it. The league knew it. Everyone knew it. But the Panthers were so desperate for some offensive talent, and they needed to get Jonathan Brooks. Now, Jonathan Brooks in that 2023 draft class, he was RB1, considered by many folks, because he had so much upside. And you traded up to go get him anyways. Okay. And I'm not sure what they were thinking. Here's the thing. You should have let him heal slowly, number one. You should have stashed him behind Miles Sanders and all those guys. And then you should have unleashed him when he was actually truly 100%. The theory, and in that theory, it was a sound plan. In reality, it turned into a damn nightmare. I mean, he missed the first 10 weeks of his rookie season rehabbing. And then he makes his debut in week 12. Logged him out of 7 yards on 2 carries. It was a contagious. It was cautious, but not contagious. It was cautious, but not a promising start. Like, and 2 weeks later, you got to think about it this way, guys. In Philadelphia, his comeback ended with the same terrifying twist. A second ACL tear in the same knee on a non-contact play. That hype train absolutely got derailed real quick. Like, we're talking, and if we're looking at his numbers, man, we're talking about a guy 3 games, 9 rushes, 22 yards, 3 receptions for 23 yards, 1 start, and 2 torn ACLs. Like, here's the thing. I don't think this guy's been given a real chance, real shot. I'll be honest. I don't think he did. Now, what he could do before the universe decided to kick him right in his fucking nuts is that the second tear, especially on a surgically repaired knee, it's almost like a death sentence for some careers. Like, I don't think the Panthers are going to close the door on him entirely. I think the writing is still staring you at the face. It's on the wall. It's thick. It's black Sharpie. But 2025, is there hope? Sure. Expectation? I don't think there's a chance. Now, we've already seen the confirmation he's out, right? He's officially a pup. Now that his timeline now has to shift, ladies and gentlemen, to that 2026 year. Oh, I agree with you. He shouldn't have played. AJ Marshall, all you guys are saying in the chat right now, he shouldn't have played last season. I totally agree. Here's the thing. He's got 2026. It's a full year and a half of recovery on top of the year he already lost. So this isn't just a setback. Again, this is a total detour that can reroute an entire career. Now, this is what Carolina knows, is that they didn't wait to see what happens. They moved fast. They moved fast this offseason with this running back room. Clearly out dead weight. You go ahead and move on for Miles Sanders. You return Juba Hubbard after a great 1,000-yard season last year, total breakout. Rico Dowdle, fresh out of Dallas, signed as a free agent, a tough, no-nonsense back who can handle early down duties if needed. 1,000-yard season last year. Trevor Etienne, electric young brother of Travis Etienne, drafted in the 4th round. That, make no mistake, this isn't just a placeholder pick. I think Etienne's arrival is the clearest sign yet that Carolina is preparing for a world where Brooks might not ever be the same. And I think they should. I think it's a smart move. But I'm not saying that Brooks is out. I do think that this is where things get complicated and it does get interesting. Like, Brooks is under contract. They're not giving up on him yet. But you'd be foolish not to notice the contingency plan that they're already forming. Because here's the thing. Coming 2026, this backfield, we could end up seeing this backfield being Etienne, Hubbard, and Brooks. Or it could end up being Etienne and whoever replaces Jonathan Brooks if his recovery doesn't go as planned. Here's the thing. ACL injuries, we all know, are crapshoots, man. Some guys like Thomas Davis Sr. and Adrian Peterson, who come back from 3 ACL tears, or multiple ACL tears, they beat the odds. They become legends. Others fade away quickly. Casualties of that's part of the brutal game. Again, it's a game that does not wait around for anyone. Right? I give Brooks this. And shout out to Jonathan Brooks for how he's handled this. He's been nothing but professional. He's been nothing but showing grit. He works his ass off. He worked his ass off just to get on the field last season. The fact that he made it at all last season, I thought was impressive. But the moment the second injury happened, that's when it stopped being about willpower and it started being about physiology or psychology or whatever you want to call it. But still, at the end of the day, two ACL tears, same knee, same cutting motion. That's not just unlucky. That's medically terrifying, guys. That's medically terrifying. In my opinion. So this isn't just this isn't just Brooks' burden though. We got to think about it. This is also Dan Morgan. That was Dan Morgan. This could end up being Dan Morgan's first big draft regret. Like he rolled the dice on a high risk, high reward player. Okay. Again, it was high risk, high reward because he was injured coming off that ACL. And right now it's been a total disaster. Now, that doesn't mean it was a dumb pick, but it does mean that the future drafts will have a different level of scrutiny around medical red flags. Now, if you want to take shots on talent, fine, but you better be damn sure that knee is more than just healing well. I mean, Brooks had barely planted that leg before it gave out. If you go where you watch that tape of his leg. And Morgan reacted, and I'll give Dan Morgan his kudos because he reacted accordingly to this offseason. He didn't wait. He signed insurance. He drafted competition. He hedged the hell out of this backfield. And it was the right move because if you want to build around Bryce Young, the last thing you need is a running back carousel made up of busted knees and wishful thinking. But here's the thing. A lot of people were asking me, and I in my short clip that I made on this before I came on here, really kind of broke it down, is they were asking me, so do you think, they were like, Clay, do you think that Jonathan Brooks is a bust? I'm not going to go there yet. I think calling Jonathan Brooks a bust right now is both unfair and lazy. I think the man has barely played, and when he did, he was clearly still rehabbing. This is not a Trent Richardson situation, if any of you guys remember that. Like, it's not like Brooks hasn't been bad. He just hasn't had a chance. But if 2 torn ACLs in 2 years is a flashing red flag, I mean, his future in the NFL now depends entirely on whether he can do something very few have done before, come back from multiple major knee injuries and still play at a high level. Now, this team hasn't quit on him. I haven't quit on him. Made no mistake about it. The leash is short. It is and I'm sorry to say that. Again, this is not the NFL is not a game that gives. You have to be, as an individual player, you have to give to get back. That's how the NFL works. I mean, this whole saga with him, now it sucks. There's no way around it. Jonathan Brooks is a good dude. I think he's got real talent, who got dealt the worst possible hand. The good news is the Carolina Panthers does have a plan for this. I think ETN is legit. I think Daddle's dependable. Hubbard has the experience. Now, Brooks comes back in 2026 and looks anything like he did coming out of Texas, that's a bonus. But if he doesn't, we cannot be a team that gets caught with our pants down. Not this time. Like, the rebuild has to be real. And the timeline is long. And as brutal as this Brooks development is, it won't stop the Panthers from moving forward. It just means that the comeback, if it ever happens, will be one hell of a story. And guys, I want to be clear here. Damn it, I'm rooting for him. I am. I'm rooting for him. What up, Don34? Appreciate you joining. Not Greg Oden yet. Right, chat. What's up, Doug? Appreciate you joining, man. Hope all is well. Schizo Spielberg. What does it mean for his contract, though? As of right now, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, now if we're talking about if we decide he comes back next year, when we look at it, they could cut it. It's not, I don't think his contract is very big. I don't think it would be a massive blow if we were able to release him. But I would have to dive more into his contract. That wasn't all today. There was more cuts today. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Here it is. So here's the rest of the cuts today. So they got rid of TJ Luther, Dax Milani, Colin Granger, Jordan Matthews, Andrew Rom, Popo Awumave, and Jared Clark. The Colin Granger one makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, shout out to my coastal guy, man. Schizo, I have looked at Moose's film. I have his film on file. I have looked at it. There's some good. It's just like I say with every draft player. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some ugly, but there are some guys that have more bad than good, and there's some that have more ugly than bad. And I'm gonna say this. I'll say that the good weighs out the bad, but the ugly for him, I just don't see him making the roster, man. It's not to say I don't know if he got the right all the good bloodline from his dad. I'm just gonna say that. I think that we have a better chance of Kobe Hudson making this roster. I'm high on Kobe Hudson from an undrafted free agent standpoint. Even the guy out of Miami, Jacoby George or something like that. I like him even better than Moose. But the Colin Granger move makes a lot of sense to me. It was the most bizarre thing. I mean, shout out to Coastal Carolina basketball player. I mean, he hasn't played football since middle school. The idea was to mold him into this like red zone mismatch at tight end. And then hamstring injury, not a single practice snap before even given the boot. Hell, he didn't even make it to rookie minicamp, which starts tomorrow, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, Granger gave it a shot. Shout out to him. But he's not making it. I mean, and they also went out and drafted Mitchell Evans to shore up that tight end room. Jordan Matthews, we all know about his story. A guy started out as the NFL wideout, turned tight end. He didn't really find any traction here. The position switch really didn't pan out for him. Maybe someone will pick him up in the practice squad. Maybe he'll bring him back. I don't know. Dax, I mean, he simply just got buried on a depth chart that's grown like an overwatered chia pet. That's how much this roster's grown. I mean, we're talking about with 9 receivers already fighting for roster spots. Not even counting the undrafted guys you needed to, you need to pop off the screen just to, survive. So he obviously didn't. But yeah, I mean, Andrew Rom, a guy that just you pulled him out of nowhere last year. What did he do? I mean, he really didn't do anything for us. Injury settlement for Granger. Yeah, that's basically it. I thought that they was going to hold a spot for him. Nah, they said peace, man. We're in the cruelest. We're in that cruel time of year where we have to be the way that we are. We cannot just. It's a business. It's not personal. It's a business. And right now, Morgan's regime, business is cold. Let's be honest. Rest of these guys, I'm not surprised, but do have some major updates coming your way real quick. We do have some off-season schedules that we need to go over with you guys real quick. Let me see if I can find the off-season schedules that we do need to go over for you guys to be on the lookout for, because there is a lot of stuff coming up. Okay, here it is. Let me share my screen real quick. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to SB Nation for this one. So right now we got. So tomorrow is going to be rookie minicamp. We got rookie minicamp starting tomorrow. Then you've got the NFL. We'll get our final schedule revealed. So, and then we've got May 27th through the 28th, and the 30th we got OTA. So, beginning of Panthers rookie minicamp, we'll get to see and hear. Fresh blood gets its first taste at the pro level speed, coaching, expectations. I'm looking forward to the schedule reveal. We already know who we're playing, but we don't know how the schedule is exactly going to go. So I'm looking forward to that. Then we got the OTAs. Then we got June 2nd through the 3rd. Then 5th, we got OTAs. Then we got mandatory minicamp. I'm looking forward to that. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. And then July, you got the deadline for players for franchise tags, sign a multiple-year contract. Training camp begins mid-July, wherever that may be, since we are not having a public training camp this year. Hall of Fame game, July 31st. And then last but not least, the first preseason weekend will start August 7th through the 10th, from my understanding. So just some major dates to be on the lookout for. Just some major dates to be on the lookout for. Just want to give you guys a heads up on that. Rookie minicamp starts tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to hearing some reports out on that. Might break some of that stuff down. Clay, can Shy back up DB? Then they can bring up Cam Jackson. I think that's going to, I don't want Shy Tuttle here, but that might end up being what they're doing. But right now, if you go look at the roster, Rolly, Shy Tuttle's behind Bobby Brown. And then behind Bobby Brown, it's or behind Shy Tuttle's Cam Jackson. I definitely want to see Cam Jackson this year too, fellas. I definitely want to see Cam Jackson this year too. Again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. We got over 44 votes. How many likes we got? We got 26 likes, but we got 44 votes on the polls. What's up with that? We should have 44 likes. But we got over 60 plus people watching right now from across platforms. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream tonight. Make sure you guys pound that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you become a member today. It's less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, whichever one you like better. Also, if you're feeling generous, you can also shoot me a Venmo or a Snap or not a Venmo or Cash App. That's also all the money and all the cash goes straight towards the channel anyway. So it does not go straight to my pocket. It goes right back in towards the channel. Whether that's getting, which we're still working on merch, or whether that's going towards a jersey giveaway for you guys. So, which is coming up soon. I definitely want to do some giveaways, a couple of giveaways this off season. So, just because of you guys just been killing it. We're almost to 6,000 subscribers, by the way. I mean, literally, we are like only like 30 subscribers away from 6,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. So, anyways. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm gonna get some more content out to you guys. Got a couple more TikToks I gotta make, so make sure you guys tune into that. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok, or Twitch. I'm all of those are on there. Same at Roppstar92_. Shout out to BetUS for sponsorship of the Roppstar Report. Sign up for free today. Get 125% bonus up on your first 3 bets up to $2,000, but bet responsibly. Okay. Other than that, guys, I'm going to log off of here. I will see you guys on the other side. Maybe I will see you tomorrow or sometime this weekend. So I appreciate it. All right. I'm out of here. Y'all. Peace.